Hello, I'm Andrew Dyer, and welcome to another edition of the Roundball Report, the only show in the area dedicated to highlighting the extras of the high school, college, and professional basketball teams which play in the Washington metropolitan area. And here with me again is my co-host, former Sidwell Friends and Duke University star and the head girls volleyball coach at
National Cathedral,
the one and only Janee Hayes. Janee, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, and speaking about back, we are just so glad. I mean, not that we don't have love for the WNBA, Ed. We got mad love for the WNBA, but the NBA, the big-time round ball is around the corner, and for the first time in years, we're coming in with legitimate, other than just, it's other than people, Wizards faithful, that believe that they actually have a chance to contend in the Eastern Conference. They're being picked by many prognosticators as a legitimate shot for one of the top 4 seeds in the Eastern Conference. And
exactly.
We've got
two guys that actually agree with this, who never agreed that the Wizards are going to be respectable, I should say. We're joined in the studio by Coach Jimmy Fly Hellmann of HSRN, and we're joined via phone by Coach Butch McAdams of WOL. And I just want to hear what they have to say, because the enthusiasm that existed within the Verizon Center today still permeates, ironically, through this set. And when I heard Coach Butch McAdams say that he was excited about the Washington Wizards, I almost passed out. Coach, tell me why you're so excited about this new Washington Wizards team.
Well, because for the first time in years, they have a good product, a really good product, meaning that they have young talent in Beal and Wall. They have a good mix of relatively young veterans and Nene and Gortat. And then they add the veteran, the guy with the ring, and Paul Pierce, to teach the youngsters how to win, add some toughness, and also down the stretch when they need that bucket, he's got the experience and the ability to go one-on-one and get that buzzer beater. That's what I see, Coach Jimmy Fly.
Well, I concur, but go ahead.
I was just saying, Coach Fly, they were saying not only is he going to be like Al Harrington was last year, kind of a veteran coach in a uniform, but they said Paul is in tremendous shape. They said he's getting to the gym 2 hours before, and the young guys are following his lead. They're just amazed at the type of condition this guy is in at 36, 37.
Well, the truth, I think, is going to be telling some of these guys the truth. Well, the truth will set you free, and I think it's going to. They have to follow this man's lead. He was the final MVP when they won the NBA championship. I believe, didn't he win at Kansas in college? I can't remember way back, but I think he won, or he was in the championship game. But he's got that pedigree and that DNA in him. They can see how this guy's a pro's pro. And now these younger guys get to see this is how hard you have to work to get where you want to go. Because remember, he spent a lot of dormant years in Boston on some bad teams with Antoine Walker, never going anywhere. You remember those?
Yes.
So he's been through the valley that the Wizards have been through, and maybe worse, because Boston's used to winning.
Right.
When they got KG and Ray Allen, that's when, they flourished.
Right.
And I think when he gets on that floor with Bradley Beal, Bradley Beal's going to remind him a little bit of playing with Ray Allen.
Right. And Coach McAdams, one of the things I was reading the feedback, and we're going to give you some footage from Media Day, but one of the immediate reactions I saw is Bradley Beal is already soaking in. He says that the swagger, the confidence, the old school toughness, Paul Pierce goes back to your genre of player, Coach. He doesn't want to be liked by the opposition. He wants to cut their throat.
Absolutely. I mean, there's enough time to be liked during the off season. No question about that. But we talked about the starting 5, but let's look at, in my opinion, the true strength of the Wizards, and that's their bench. I mean, this is an incredible bench. I mean, they can bring at least 4 or 5 guys off the bench that can contribute at any time. And the addition of certain players that they brought in, the veteran players, like Blair and Humphrey and the other players from last year, I like their bench, and I think that's going to be the element that puts them like at maybe the second or third slot in the East.
And like you said, the veteran presences of Drew Gooden and Andre Miller, guys we were joking before we came on air, Coach, of how the team has transformed as you've got young, mature superstars, much more responsible than the previous ilk of the Andre Bloches and Nick Youngs and that type. You've got Wall and Bill, who are very responsible young men, resisting the temptations of the DC nightlife as much as anyone can. But then you've got the veteran presences of guys like Martell, Webster, Andre Miller, Drew Gooden. And it serves as a point of validation that a guy like a Paul Pierce, who's only playing at this point in his career 4 championships, that he chose to come to Washington.
Yes, absolutely. Again, I'm excited. And it's good to have look, the basketball IQ in the DMV is very high. Mm-hmm. We know what good basketball looks like. Some of us have seen it before. And so if there's a good product, we're going to support it. If it's a mediocre product, we're not going to support it.
Well, the enthusiasm level that's here in the studio, at this point in the year, everybody's enthusiastic coming to training camp. Everybody's 0-0. Everybody tries to at least feign a legitimate chance for hope. But Janee and Michael Lucas went down to Media Day and got a chance to sample the expectations of the participants. So check it out.
I mean, 4 years ago, nobody was really talking about Washington. Now they've changed the culture here. They've got some new, young, exciting players here. And those things really play a big part when you're trying to draw free agents to a city or to a team. You look at the coach, you look at the culture, you look at the players, and I think they checkmarked on all those things. And this is going to be a destination for free agents to come. Not only now but in the near future. I looked at the team. I saw, not only a great backcourt, I saw great depth. I saw a team that a lot of people's eyes probably should have been in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they had Indiana on the ropes, and I was just like, this is a team that I could provide some experience, some intangibles down the stretch of games to help them close out games. And I think that's some of the areas they struggled in. And a veteran leader in the locker room. I think those are the elements that this team are missing, and I felt like, I'll be a perfect fit here.
One personal goal of mine is to play every game. I definitely want to do that because being hurt, you can't accomplish anything being hurt. So that's one. And trying to make the rookie-sophomore game. So that's another goal of mine.
This feels pretty good, but just being in the East and stuff like that, I never thought that I was going to play for Boston. And then last year I was there, and this year I'm here. But it feels good being around the guys, and everyone's works hard and fun guys, and great coaching staff. So it's been good so far.
I think the organization is going in a really good direction right now. We have a lot of young guys like John, Bradley, Otto, and Glenn, and these guys can secure the legacy of this team for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So. I'm glad I'm a part of the team for the next.
Letting the new players come in and enjoy it and play their game instead of this is my team or this is me. Just being the team, and I think that's the biggest thing. And I think we have great players to do it. There's no bad guys on this team, and everybody is welcoming everybody with open arms. So that's what I love about it.
Man, with that being said, it's good to play with a chip on your shoulder. It's good to have that edge. It brings out the best in you and helps you compete. But for the most part, our guys are humble, but they're hungry.
I wouldn't say surreal. I just think God had his plan and it came with patience. Good things come to people that's patient. Some people get drafted high and go to a situation where their teams are winning championships and winning right away. I went through the tough times with switching coaches and switching teammates left and right. And it took me 4 to 5 years to figure it out. And I had to get better every year. And we started to add pieces around here, so I think our time is coming now. We just got to keep it going and click with it. And because the year before that, we couldn't win on the road, and we could win at home. And then last year we went on the road, we couldn't win at home. So I think the biggest thing with us is just taking care of home court advantage. You can find a way to win on the road, but when you can take care of home court advantage, that's the biggest thing. Like Paul said, he came in and said that's the first thing we're keying in on is winning at home.
You have to change.
Great job, Janee and Michael. And in studio, we have Jimmy Fly Hellmann and Janee Hayes. And on the phone, we have Butch McAdams. And Janee, you've been down there to cover Media Day. What was the difference in the atmosphere this year as opposed to the previous times you've been down there?
Well, in the previous years, it seemed like people were talking just because that's the thing you're supposed to do. You never go into a season saying, oh, yeah, we stink. We're going to stink for a while. You know, as realistic as that might be.
I used to.
You weren't at Media Day, Coach.
But the teammates and the coaches and the entire staff was sincerely excited about the promise of this team. Like, they're talking, well, we definitely should go to the playoffs. We should be a 2 to 3 seed in the East. Actually, we could come out of the East and compete for an NBA championship, and I have never, ever heard them say anything like that. So I like the confidence, I like the slight cockiness, and I like the enthusiasm, because these guys seem excited to play with one another and actually excited to get the season started.
And Coach McAdams, it's got to be refreshing for John Wall, who was in a situation where he was asked to be a leader and really had never won anything, of older guys. And now Paul Pierce is doing it in such a smart way. He knows that he's the leader, but he's telling everyone that John Wall and Bradley Beal are the leaders, but he's leading them, teaching them how to grow into those actual leadership positions.
Well, Paul Pierce, as he stated during the interview, he didn't just close his eyes and select a team to join. He looked at this team and saw, A, that he would be a good fit for what this team needed, and B, that his contributions could help them get deeper into the playoffs.
And Coach Jimmy, you know what was ironic to me is that everyone kept saying that Washington, D.C. has become a destination place for free agents in the future. That has never been nothing has ever even been uttered up until this point, that Washington, D.C. is a destination for free agents. Typically, it's been like, D.C.'s a nice party city. D.C.'s nice when we go play away. But actually, to further your career in this city, I think that's a tremendous jump, and it speaks volumes about people believing in the system, believing in the culture, as Paul Pierce talked about, and just believing in what this organization, what they're aspiring to.
Well, exactly. If you know, D.C. used to be a destination for trades. When they had, think about it, they had Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. They all played for the Detroit Pistons in the NBA Finals back-to-back years and won an NBA championship. You can go on and on, you know, however far back you want to go. But it starts at the top. Organizations start at the top. Ted Leonsis, the owner, came in. He's doing things, you know, off the court, where he's, you know, building the separate practice facility like the hockey team has. I think that's in the next year or two that's going to be finished, where the players can go at any time, and you know, I think it's going to be in Northern Virginia or someplace like that. But those are the kind of things that leadership and the ownership has to do to attract those type of players. And now that you've had Paul Pierce jump the shark, so to speak, others may follow.
And Coach McAdams, we got 30 seconds before we go to break. But as you said, everybody watched that series, and they should have closed out Indiana. And Paul Pierce is of a mindset that if they had me, they would have closed out.
Absolutely. And I believe that they would have, because they're not missing much, and physically they're not missing that much. But it's just a toughness and an experience of knowing how to close is missing, and Pierce brings that to the table, in my opinion.
All right, we're going to go to a break right now.